G'day and welcome to another edition of the Aussie Ideas Man. I'm putting my face on first because this time I'm going to turn my head the right way. There it is. Bandage is off. I even said bandage correct first time around. So this time I'm doing a video about Hillbilly Bill and his latest one that says what tyres can you use on APTERA. I won't be showing my face until the very end because right now I'm just going to do the sign off. And I will use some excerpts from his video to make my comments, have a little go at Hillbilly Bill, pass my day because I'll be sitting in this chair in my dressing gown.
Hi everyone, how's it going today?
All right, let's get into this. Free Power is the name of the site, and the poor guy has lost his usual music that this belongs to, and he wants comments about it and has blocked me, but my comment is the music he uses now is a little bit better. It's less irritating.
All right, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. And we're actually going to talk about what kind of tires you could put on APTERA.
Let's start right at the very beginning. There is no tyre you can put on APTERA because nobody has an APTERA. Let's begin with the facts right from the very start. He's asking about what tyres you might be able to put on an APTERA if ever they make one, and the chances of that are slim.
We know that at EVs, they tend to wear tires out a lot faster. And there are several reasons for that, but don't take my word for it. I got this video here actually by CNBC that actually talks about all that. Check this video out with me.
EV tires cost 50% more and need to be changed 20% more often.
Let's get that straight because he doesn't. 50% more means if it's a $200 tyre, it'll be $300. That's 50% more. And that's cost. He confuses cost, I think, with how often you change them. Changing them 20% more often means that if you've taken 20 months to wear out your tyres for an ICE car, then an EV doing the same distance over time will mean you have to change your tyres in 16 months. There will be 4 months that you won't get out of your tyres. That's got nothing to do with 50%. That's 20% more often.
EVs provide both challenges and opportunities in ways that help distinguish tire makers from each other. One interesting one, EVs are a lot quieter than ICE cars, a mixed blessing as it makes tire noise more noticeable. There are ways to reduce this, such as inserting foam to dampen the sound.
Okay, now any intelligent person, and really not an intelligent person, a normal person, would know that the foam inserted is in the wheel wells. That's on the body of the car, and that's between the tyres and the driver's ears. Take note of what this clown says when he mentions the foam.
Another challenge, extending battery range, an EV's most precious resource. Also lose energy through tires, through something called rolling resistance. Basically just a force that slows a tire down as it rolls. The same force that would slow down and stop a rolling ball.
It's not the same force. Unfortunately, even the people making this video say some silly things. The force that stops this tennis ball, or any ball for that matter, is the contact patch. That is the external part of the ball that touches the ground. That's the contact patch. Inside the ball, there is nothing else that aids rolling resistance at all. With a vehicle, any wheel, it has not just the contact patch like the ball, but internally it has an axle and some sort of bearing between the rotating wheel and the non-rotating axle. Now that is also a contributor to rolling resistance. So it's both. The ball only has one, the wheel has both. And it may even be that the rolling resistance is more affected by the bearings than it is by the contact patch. We don't know, but in this case we have misinformation, and it's not even Hillbilly Bill that's giving it.
Because EVs don't suffer energy loss through engines, reducing that energy loss through tires has become much more important to making EVs as efficient as possible. That means if a vehicle has 300 miles of range, you can get an additional 45 just from using the right tires.
It's not because the EV motor is more efficient than the ICE engine. It's not that at all. It's because EV batteries are 1/20th the power to weight ratio of fuel. There's the problem. There's why they have to scrape for any sort of advantage because of that massive disadvantage. Don't blame it on the engine versus motor. It's the fuel tank versus battery.
One key challenge, and the one that could be the biggest boon for tire makers: EVs burn through tires. EVs weigh a lot more than comparable ICE vehicles. The Kia Niro EV, for example, is about 20% heavier than its ICE counterpart. EVs also accelerate faster. The Niro with an engine accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 10.4 seconds max. The Niro EV does it in 7.8. That is what throws you back into your seat. A car taking off like that will scrub the tires more as they try to grip the road and accelerate the vehicle. Add more weight on top of that, and those tires are scrubbing the asphalt hard. The regenerative braking feature common on EVs is an additional force on the tire, moving in the opposite direction to slow the vehicle down.
It's wrong to say that regenerative braking adds to the scrubbing of tyres. If anything, regenerative braking would probably result in tyres lasting longer, simply because when cars have to slow down, if a person steps on the brakes and there's no regenerative braking, they will provide more force than if a person in an EV just takes his foot off the accelerator and lets the motor do the regenerative braking. The motor is less abrupt and creates less forces on the tyre. So once again, these people who are making this video are really giving a little bit of misinformation.
High performance tire in general wears out quickly anyway. Now you put the load and that extra power on that type of a tire, and it's going to wear out even quicker. I mean, some of these vehicles are wearing tires out in 15, 20,000 miles, which is concerning because they're wildly expensive as well.
All right, so as was brought out, it looks like EVs can burn through tires faster than a normal ICE car. Now, according to the statistics that they brought out, they said that an EV can burn through tires twice as fast than a regular ICE car.
No, they didn't. They never said an EV can go through tyres twice as fast as a regular ICE car. The cost was 50% higher, and that's got nothing to do with it. What they did say was that people replace their tyres 20% quicker than an ICE car. If they wear out twice as fast, then they would be replacing their tyres in half the time. So this clown can't even understand what he's hearing.
One of the main reasons is because of weight. We know that the weight of the electric car is basically 2 times heavier than a regular normal ICE car.
They gave the weight of the Nero as not twice as heavy, but 20% heavier. So where does he get the 2 times heavier?
And all that extra added weight can cause the treads of the tire to wear out faster. And also the fast starting, because of the torque on the wheels causing them to spin faster with that extra weight can cause the tire to wear out faster as well. Which means that there's a lot of things that a lot of people want to do to make sure that their EV can get further without wearing out the tire faster. And so that means they have to build the tires specifically for EVs so that they can last longer and be quieter and not wear out as fast. One of the things that they do is they put a foam in the tire that helps muffle the sounds. So
That's got to be the biggest joke of the century. Where did he get them putting foam inside the tyre? And how can foam inside the tyre muffle sound that's created between the exterior of the tyre and the road surface? It's impossible. Foam inside the tyre will do nothing. Does this guy think at all? And why do people listen to such a backwoods person? And I didn't mean backwards, I mean backwoods, like Jed Clampett. Backwoods. It's obvious where this guy comes from.
it doesn't make that much noise. But of course, speaking about the weight, here, for instance, looking at a Tesla, just a Model 3, and as you look at the weight here, you can see that it is 4,030 pounds. But when you look at the weight of the APTERA, it's only 2,200 pounds.
Now, this is nonsense again. Comparing apples with oranges or maybe even watermelons, I don't care. But certainly the comparisons are wrong. For a start, the Tesla Model 3 carries 5 people and has 4 tyres. The APTERA only carries 2 people and has 3 tyres. And so the wear factor on the APTERA is going to be more than the wear factor on the Tesla. It's science. It's something that he has no idea about. And the cost per mile per person is much cheaper with the Tesla when it comes to replacing tyres. It has to be. Besides, if we go further, you can look at the Tesla's acceleration figure, and it is nowhere near as fast unless you've got the performance version of a Tesla or the Plaid. But the average Tesla is nowhere near as fast as that 4-second quarter mile time that APTERA brags about. And I'm going to pretend it's real. So when you factor in that, 3 wheels instead of 4, 2 seats instead of 5, and a much faster acceleration time, you're in for much more severe tyre wear. But if you want to believe this backwoods clown, do it at your own peril.
So, I mean, that's practically half the weight right there. APTERA also has something called launch mode, and we know that that is a high torque move to get the wheels spinning and APTERA rolling pretty fast.
Launch mode is always designed to stop the wheels from spinning. He thinks it's to get the wheels spinning. Once again, the guy's just inept. He's brainless.
That'll wear your tire out pretty fast as well. So basically, what kind of tire would you want to use? He brought out that the tires for the EVs are basically 50% higher than your normal ICE car tires. So you're paying more, they're wearing out twice as fast. This is the only area where the EV does not save you money. As a matter of fact,
It's not the only area where the EV doesn't save you money. Most insurance companies charge far more for insurance than for an ICE car. And so it's a second area where the EV doesn't save you money. Also, because you pay so much more to get the EV in comparison to an ICE car, you've already lost usually tens of thousands of dollars up front. So there's 3 reasons why you lose money. There are ways to save, but it's certainly not a case of the tyres being the only way you lose money.
spending twice the amount of money on tires. So the best thing about APTERA is you can actually put regular tires on the APTERA. Just regular tires.
Only if you believe the snake oil salesman. Sure, they say that, but those tyres will be eaten up so fast you won't know what went on.
The tire and rim goes over it, and you take it off just like a regular tire and rim. So that's the tire and rim back there. But if you go to like Discount Tire or something,
And so that saves you a good bit of money as well. You don't have to spend for high-end tires for your APTERA. And APTERA is, I mean, the changes that they're making is going to be so phenomenal. So when they come out, it's just going to be such a game changer. But what? How do you feel about that? What do you think? I know that a lot of people know that it's not a real car, and which it's not. It's basically an auto cycle. Let me get your comments on that. But anyway, APTERA is really doing some fantastic things. We know that very soon now we should be hearing about the production intent vehicle.
Well, that's something else I think about. Not only does he block me because he can't refute what I think about these things, I don't get a chance to tell him how silly he is for expecting the PIs to come out so fast. They had the first PI traded in on April Fool's Day, and in a month, nobody has ever seen anything happen to it other than a few people play in it.
Very soon, and they should have already put the PI1 together already. But I guess we won't find out until later on. They should actually be putting the P2, P3 together so that they can start doing the other testing.
In reality, they should have had APTERAs on the roads in 2023. at the start of it. What you see here is all there is of any APTERA. And if it wasn't for that little trolley, it wouldn't move at all. At least you can buy the trolley.
Very good news all the way around.
It's not good news. Have a think about the news he's given you. He's given you the news that APTERAs can get cheap tyres on it, and there's no reason for it. The science would dictate that APTERA needs the best EV tyres, the most expensive EV tyres, and they'll be chewing them up more than 20% faster. That's not good news. He's misleading you, and he's as dumb as a post. Not only has there been no wiring loom or seats or anything put in the PI at the moment for more than a month, but there's no frame, there's no roll bar. How are they going to get a roll bar in now? The roll bar needs to go in before the cabin is assembled. What they say they're doing and what they do are chalk and cheese. These people are inept. These people only do things to fool the gullible, but they're going nowhere when it comes to getting production started. They're going broke faster than they can procure inventory. They don't even have the production plant up and running. They have absolutely nothing, and their fundraising is not going to get them anywhere. It's run its course. They won't be getting too many offers from angel investors because they blew their first chance with Google, and people know that. Why hasn't Google given them another chance? Because they still haven't proven that this thing even works. Well, that's all from me. Bye for now. Stay safer than I've been over the last few days.